we are today at HNR Gunworks with
Hillary Dube.
Hillary Dube, the beautiful owner of this fabulous shop here in Inverness, Florida. Hillary, thank you so much for talking to me
thank
today.
You. I'm so excited.
I am too. So can you tell me a little bit about how you got into shooting and what on earth brought you to own a gun store, which you're the only woman I ever met that owns a gun store.
Yeah, I do get that question a lot. I have no previous experience before I was 21 shooting. No one in my family brought me out to shoot rifles in the woods and hunting, and you know, I saw a Groupon online one day for a pistol permit class. So nobody would go with me, so I took it by myself.
You mean like a Groupon coupon?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep, nobody wanted to do it with me, so I just took a leap of faith and I took the class by myself. It was really fun. I was the only girl there.
Good for you.
Yeah. And they told me there was going to be a test, and the whole time I was freaking out. And
I would freak out.
I couldn't think about anything else besides passing the test and shooting and getting at least on the target and, you know, getting it done. But I finished it, I made it through the class, and I started shooting every day.
Wow.
So after work, I would leave, I would go shoot, and everybody was like, "What are you doing?" So I started training for IDPA.
Now, what is that?
It's like a shooting competition match.
IDPA, do you know
Yep.
what it actually stands for?
I actually don't.
Okay, that's all right. IDPA, which is something people can look up.
Yes.
Okay, we'll look that up for you.
It's been a long time since
We'll
I've
put that
done
in the
it.
comments down below.
This is when I was 21, okay? This is, we're talking a couple years ago. So started shooting competitively. I got really into it. We used to drive all over for matches, all over New England. And that's how I met Ross. And he is the other owner of HNR Gunworks. He is the R, I'm the H. Everyone always asks. I know, right? Nobody ever gets that.
Thank you.
Yes.
It never occurred to me.
We tried to think of different names, and it just kind of flowed, so we went
It's
with
like
it.
Guns N Grannie with me,
It's
the
like
N in the
Guns N
middle.
Grannie.
Okay, got
Yep.
it.
So that's what the HNR is. So I met him. He actually started doing work on my guns, and that's kind of how we came to be. So he was doing gunsmithing in Connecticut, and I was shooting, needed a gunsmith. And we've been together about 5 years. Throughout that time, you know, we had talked about opening our own shop and definitely moving out of Connecticut because I didn't like the cold. So we came out last February and we were kind of looking at locations. We came out to visit one of Ross's friends that lives in Citrus County. And we just drove by this shop and we were like, this is it. And we signed the lease. We did the paperwork that week on
Wow.
vacation.
Yeah.
We had 1 day vacation and then it was, you know, turned into paperwork, and that's how we're here.
So this is in Inverness, Florida. It's Central Florida for those of you that might actually like to come by. And the address, we'll also put links to everything down, but the actual address to the shop is what?
Yep, it's 3238 South Florida Ave.
Okay.
In
It's
Inverness.
also called County Road 41.
41.
Right.
Yep.
So it's really easy to find. It's very near the heart of Inverness, which is an old town. It's a nice kind of sleepy little town in Central Florida, which is lovely. But what actually got you to open the store? So you and Ross came here, you found it. So this was your vision, really, was to come to Central Florida because you hated the snow.
Yes.
And to start a gun shop. I mean, did you have any challenges with that?
Oh my gosh. There was one challenge after another. It is challenging to start a business, no matter what you're doing.
Right.
Obviously, you know, we're not selling shoes, so there is a lot more. There's a lot more that goes into opening a gun shop, doing gun shop work. But you know, I think we've both really learned a lot. You know, in the year and a half that we've been here, I never knew what SEO meant before here. I've learned just so many.
Search engine optimization.
Yes, if you don't know someone that does that, find somebody because
Yeah.
it's challenging. But you
Yes.
know, we've just kind of taken things as they're thrown at us and just tried to, you know, push the limits as to what we can be in a year, you know, and really thrive in Citrus County. We love it.
Well, as you can all see, I'm wearing my NRA hat, of which I am a member. I joined
Yes.
recently, actually coming and taking the class here. I joined after that. And I did that because I'm very concerned about what's actually happening with our Second
Yeah.
Second Amendment rights.
Yeah, it's scary.
And what was really funny, I'll tell you a funny story. Maybe you saw it on the news. In Florida, I think it was Lake Wales,
Okay.
an emergency, you know how the sheriff sends out an emergency, or the
Yeah.
public broadcast system
Yep.
sends out an emergency notice? it said the zombies were coming.
I saw that. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, that freaked me out too.
So it's like, oh my God, the zombies are coming. And I really thought, who are the zombies? Because if it was a real emergency, obviously they were hacked and somebody sent this out. But I got to thinking, again, with our Second Amendment rights, what are the real zombies today? And what's happening today is with this madness, where these people are just going in hordes.
I know.
These lefty liberals are going in hordes, and it's actually mindless destruction.
Yeah.
And now they're telling people to kill Republicans, kill conservatives, and it's like, what happened to having civil debates and an exchange of ideas and a civil debate? This is what we hope and pray that we will eventually come back to. But this is all being hyped so much by the media, by the Hollywood. It's just unreal. Yeah. So that scared me, and I said, I don't want to be a victim.
Right.
And as a senior, I'm a target.
Right.
Hello, big bullseye on my head says, hey, let me rob you, let me come and break into your house because I don't think you're going to do anything. So it's like, oh no. This woman is taking her power back.
You go, girl.
So I decided, my husband and I, who's 80, he and I both decided to come and take the classes here. But older people have challenges.
Yes.
And one of the things I did want to address were the weapons that people need, the kind that we can actually hold and shoot, because a lot of people, myself included, we're older, it's harder to pull a trigger.
Right.
Can you keep the recoil down from hitting you in the head with knocking yourself out in the head?
There's a lot of considerations.
Exactly. So one of the reasons I started Guns N Grannie was because this is an ongoing educational process for me personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I felt that as a senior citizen and a Navy veteran, I'm a patriot, I honor our flag, I do anything I can for our country.
Absolutely.
But seniors are in a position now where we need to learn how to shoot, what weapons are best, what the laws are, how do we safely conceal and carry if we even can.
Absolutely.
Which you can in this state. Mm-hmm. So as I said, we are in Florida, so what we are talking about pertains to Florida. Mm-hmm. And so you have a relationship with the NRA here.
Of course.
People are allowed to come in here and sign up.
We can have you guys join NRA, you can renew, we can give special offers. So that's nice, save you some money.
Okay.
And you'll get all the same benefits. So of course the lovely hat, as well as the magazines. But it's good to, stay informed. You also get some insurance on weapons. They offer their own defensive insurance. They have a lot of different programs. They have youth programs. They do have women's programs. So they even have different
do they have seniors programs?
Shooting. I don't know. We'll have to find that out.
Find that out.
Yeah.
So that's something I'd really like to know.
Yeah. The NRA really does offer you they're fighting for us. We're on the Friends of the NRA out here. They have their event in 2 weeks. We support them as well. They do some really great things. They raise a lot of money through that.
What event are you talking about?
It's the Friends of NRA. It's a big dinner. They do an auction. It's actually right across the street. It's really fun.
Here
in Citrus County. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, well, we can maybe get information about that and put it down in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
So today what we were going to talk about was basically the kind of weapon you think I should have. Now, I did already take the class. What was that class called?
Basic handgun safety.
Exactly.
It's what you would need for your pistol permit, your carry permit out here in Florida.
And we went to, you're affiliated with a shooting range.
Yep.
You have to be a member. You can't not just anybody can go to this shooting range. You have to go either as a member or with a member.
Yep.
It's out in the middle of no man's land. I
It is.
can tell you that.
Yeah, you can't just go shooting off the street.
Oh no, and you would never find it.
Yeah.
And
it's our little hidden gem.
It is. So they had a lot of different kinds of guns, but just for me to pick them up and hold them, at one point I was afraid because I said to the instructor, I said, you have to hold my hand.
Right.
Because I don't know if I can hold this gun when it fires.
Yeah. Yep.
So he held my hand and I was able to shoot, but I was able to figure out what weight I need.
You like, yeah, absolutely.
And what, some of these guns have the pullback.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yep.
So I needed to find a gun that I could load it, I could
Yep.
hold it, I could fire it,
Yeah.
and, you know, do what
You
I
need to
needed
be
to
able
do.
to operate it
I need to be
safely.
able to operate it safely,
Right.
and so that was basically it. So what was the weapon that you felt was going to be the best one for me?
Right now, and this is all subjective, obviously we always recommend going to shoot and try the different guns like you did.
I did the 1911, which was the
Yes,
that
that's
was the one
my
I liked.
favorite,
Yeah.
yes. So, I mean, there's this big misconception that small, cute guns, you know, are easier to shoot. It's not true. It's just not there. There's all different kinds of guns. Gun can be small, but a larger caliber. Guns can be big, but a smaller caliber. So it's really, there's so many factors that go into picking the right gun for someone, and we go through that here really extensively. What are you going to use a gun for?
Yeah.
What, you know, what caliber do you want? How are you planning on carrying it? You know, what are you comfortable with? So, you know, for you, really out here in the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of people come in for the EZ. It's a Smith & Wesson. It's a .380 caliber. It is a little bit of a larger gun as far as carry goes, but it's definitely concealable. It's really lightweight. It's easy to rack back, and that's what I like about it. Women come in, they have some, you know, smaller .380 like a Ruger, like a LCP, and they're like, I can't rack back the slide, I can't use it, it's
Right.
a hard trigger pull.
Right.
We see this every day.
Okay.
So we'll trade it up for the EZ, and they're like, you know, they try, they're like, oh, I don't know, and I'm like, I do know, just try it, you know, I put $5 that you can do it, and they do, and they're so excited because they're like, you know what, I thought I needed to buy a revolver, and I didn't really
Exactly.
want one, but I thought it was my only choice, but
Right.
there's not. This one is just, it did make the cover of American Rifleman last month,
Okay.
so it was really cool if you saw that in there, but they did a nice piece on it, and it's just something that it functions, you know, it's easy to use, it doesn't have a ton of recoil for .380, it's lightweight, so it really is easy. It's really great. I'm excited about it.
Well, you know, you did have one when I was here before. It was a necklace.
Yep,
It was an actual. Can you tell me about that?
the necklace holster.
It was a gun. It was a gun in the necklace.
Oh, yeah.
It was an actual gun.
Yep.
In a necklace.
There's a little NAA, it's North American Arms. They have a few different ones that are like that. Was it a revolver?
I don't know. Do you still have them here?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a little one.
Okay.
That one is really easy to conceal. It's smaller than most people's phones nowadays. You know, that's something good for when someone's like, oh, you know, it's Florida, I wear shorts or a bathing suit and I have nowhere to put it. You know, it's like this big. It's super easy to conceal. So,
But what kind of damage could you do with something like that? I mean,
I
you'd have
mean-
to be right next to.
Oh,
If somebody
well,
were
you would
attacking
be.
you,
You
this
would
would be
be.
something that would be a defensive thing.
and you would be,
If somebody
yeah.
was attacking you, be able to pull it
Yep.
out and shoot it. So.
Yeah. If you're using I mean, those carry guns are meant for defensive purposes, not
Okay.
really for range time. You know,
Yeah.
you're not going to shoot a ton of rounds through it and love it. You know, you should know how to use it. But those little guns are really more for carry. But you will be close to someone. You know, if you're not close to somebody and you're shooting them, you got a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
You
But
know
this
what
is
I mean?
really if you're being attacked.
Yes,
Or you-
absolutely.
you
So
think
you
you're
can
gonna be
totally do
attacked.
damage. I mean, more people are shot with 22s. You know, I would never tell someone don't carry a 22. I mean, something is absolutely better than nothing, and I mean, 22 can do damage. You know,
Okay.
so it absolutely.
Okay,
But
good.
there's necklace holsters, there's bra holsters. There's so many ways to carry, and it's it's just based off the person what they're gonna do.
So we're going to look at the one gun that you want from me today.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, so
Absolutely.
we'll get that.
Yay.
Okay, so Hillary, so let's talk about these guns and tell us what they are
Yep.
and how they're used.
Okay, so the first one we were talking about was the Bodyguard 380, the EZ. That one's the new one by Smith & Wesson.
And how much does that run?
This one I believe is $3.99.
$3.99, okay.
Yep. And the second one was that little one we were talking about in the necklace. They do actually make a belt buckle holster for it, kind of nifty. That one is $2.29. They make all different variations of this, so you know, it'll depend on the pricing. I've had a gold one. We do engraving on them. You can get really crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can get crazy with
You
these.
customize the handles as
Yep.
well?
Oh yeah, we do the different colors. Yeah, everything we can change. Yeah, we've done some cool stuff with these.
Okay.
But this one is a 22. So we were talking about that. You know, what is the difference between different ammo? And this one is a 22. So take a look
Little
at that.
tiny,
Yeah, little tiny guy.
tiny guy. And Well, you'll show us how to put that in.
Yep.
Okay.
And then this one is a 380, so a little bit bigger. It does look similar to a 9, obviously, so a little bit larger than the 22. That's what this gun is. That one's a 380.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll start with the Smith & Wesson. This is one we were talking about is easy to use. So you can see it is unloaded. So I always take out the mag and we double check. So we learned that in the class. Always make sure that your gun is unloaded. So we can see the magazine has an orange follower. That's nice. So that way when your mag is in, you can see right away that it is unloaded magazine.
Okay.
So kind of a nice feature that this gun has. This gun also has a grip safety here, which is nice. It's a safety you don't really need to think about, like a thumb safety would be. Basically, when your hand is in the shooting position or in a position where your hand is on the gun, the safety's off.
Okay.
So kind of a nice feature that does have more like a 1911. It also does have a rail. You can put a light or a laser on it. Kind of nifty. Nice white sights. Usually 380s, the smaller ones, don't have really any kind of sight to be spoken for, so it is nice. You can kind of use this at the range and still have some sights on there. So the main selling feature of this gun is that it's easy to rack back and forth. It's easy to manipulate the slide, which is what a lot of seniors, older women, or people with arthritis have a hard time with. So I'm going to have you try this. Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not clear. So I push this in?
Yep, so just put your hand like you're going to be normally shooting the
like
gun with your
here.
right hand. Yep.
And like that.
Yep, and then you're going to use your left hand and pull the slide back towards you.
Pull this.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Let it go. Nice. Okay, now we'll have you put the magazine in.
Well, wait, before I do that, let me just see if I can pull it again.
Yep. Yeah, it won't stay open without the magazine in there. But you got it. That's
so
it.
you have to, okay.
Yep, so go ahead, put it in the magazine.
Okay, and it goes in just like
Yep,
this.
that's correct. Good.
Okay.
And now pull the slide back open, so pull towards you, and it'll lock back open. Nice.
Okay, so there's where the bullet goes.
Yep.
Now, if the magazine had bullets in it, would it see at this point, or?
Yeah, we would see. Yeah.
And you have to keep your finger like this.
Off the trigger, yeah.
And then your hands, if I
Yep,
remember,
you're gonna
go
have
like
a nice
that.
grip, yeah.
And the thumbs, there's something about the thumbs.
There's always something about
I
the
think they
thumbs.
go like that.
Yeah, you just want to be careful that you're not in the way of anything with your thumbs.
Right, because the thumbs can actually,
You
some of
can
these
get in the
guns
way.
can
Yeah,
you can get in
yeah,
the way.
yeah.
Okay, so now
You
it's
don't wanna-
ready to
yeah,
fire.
Yeah. So this is a little bit more challenging. So this one, they do make some different options called the Sidewinder, which do come out like a regular revolver would. However, this one, the whole cylinder actually comes out. So we're gonna push in and pull out. So there's your little pin there. You gotta cock back a little bit, and then the cylinder will just come out. So you would load your 5 shots in,
Okay.
and then, so that is 22 long rifle. Pull back a little bit, takes a
You
little
said
bit.
22 long rifle?
Yep, 22 LR.
Okay.
Yep. There are.
That's the name of the ammo.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
And then we're going to just find our little position. You'll kind of hear it click and feel it. And then this pin is going to go right back in, and it's a little bit of strength to get it back in there. And then that's it. You're ready to fire.
fire.
This is the trigger there. Like I said, all different kinds of grips, but this gun is very easy to conceal. I mean, you can see it's,
Yeah.
very, very tiny. So much smaller than the average phone is now.
Okay.
Put it right in your pocket.
So that was really interesting, and going forward, I'm going to come back and do lots more interviews.
Yay.
We're going to cover a lot of different things.
Yes.
So if you have questions or you'd like something particularly addressed, please put them down in the comments. We'll make sure
Yep.
we cover that. So tell us, Hillary, what we'll cover the next time.
Yeah, I think we're going to cover some first-time shooters, some women shooters, some senior shooters, and kind of their first thoughts on firing different guns at the range. So we'll probably be shooting at the range next time.
Okay.
And we'll also do some interviews on people that have maybe had these guns as well, as well as the difference between lights and lasers, the differences between hollow point ammo, full metal jacket, and any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put them down there. We'll cover a bunch of different topics. We'll also cover, home defense guns as well as some different target guns. So.
And what are we going to cover specifically for seniors?
Yeah, we're going to cover how different carrying options. Definitely, I know a lot of women have seen, oh, well, I have a purse and I don't really know how I should be doing it, or I'm not really sure about where on my body. I never wear belts. A lot of the women that come in, they're like, I don't wear belts anymore. I
Yeah.
haven't worn belts
Yeah.
for a long
I haven't even
time.
owned a belt.
Right, exactly. So we'll kind of cover that more specifically,
Yeah.
as well as some tips and tricks on how to load magazines. Kind of cover a whole array. I mean, the topics will cover things that seniors have a hard time with, but really any first-time shooter is going to have a hard time with. So we'll kind of cover the whole gambit.
And getting over the fear of it. I mean, I was
Yeah.
really scared
Yeah.
when I went to the gun range
Yeah.
and you put the headphones on and all these things are going off around
Yes.
me and I thought,
Yes.
oh
But
my
that-
God, but then I said, no, I'm fine, I'm safe, it's okay.
Yeah.
I just had to overcome
Yeah.
that sort of innate
Yeah.
fear that we all have.
Yeah.
Of like, oh my gosh, can I do
It's
this?
allowed- yeah,
Oh
it's-
no, I'm so scared of guns. I hate
Yeah.
guns. I don't want around guns. It's like, well, we got to change that attitude.
Yeah.
And so
And that's not
the
based off
thing.
age. I mean, that's
No.
anybody. So
No.
we'll kind of see some first-time shooters and also some seniors and women, and we'll kind of cover a little of everything.
That's
So
wonderful. Well, thanks so
Thank you.
much.
Yes,
so
I'm so
great.
excited.
And I'm looking forward to our next video.
Yes,
when we
thank you,
come back
guys.
into it. So thank you all for watching and let us know what you think. And be sure you hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
And hit the bell if you want to get notified of our next videos that are coming. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.